of working in both the private and public clouds. And I have work experience in uh, doing the migrations programs also, the cloud migration activities also, like moving your application from on-premises environment to a cloud environment, and app modernization also. Like it's not like whatever application which we have in on-premises, it's not like directly we move, right? If it need any change, that we call modernization. So I have work experience on that area too. And I am a certified solution architect. I have certifications related to development and architect activities, and I have experience in training multiple peoples in this public cloud providers. And coming back to our course related activities, first I want to congratulate all of you because you made a good decision. Because in the beginning of the year itself, everybody would have taken some resolution of doing something good for this year, especially related to a career. There are different options available in the market. I would say now the peak or the highest demand thing in the market is cloud. Wherever you go, whichever organization or famous company in the India or all over the globe, wherever we go, they will be asking you related to this. Okay, previously everything was like whether you are from a testing background or you're from a development background. This is how the questions would be. Now where you actually work for. It is an on-premises related testing or the cloud related development. That is the way the market is moving towards. And now when you add your resume, when you provide some details on the resume, if you have something related to cloud, it will be a added advantage. It is not only for the testers or developers at the base level, even for the experienced profile, even for the people at the management level, they are expecting something related to this, especially the DevOps. If you are doing a program management, then if you are comfortable with the boards and all, it will be an added advantage for you. So that is how the market is revolving. And all the famous company, I would say, the 2024, or they have something called 2025, their goal or their mission is towards like moving all their application towards a cloud. So irrespective of the cloud, whether you are going for an Azure or AWS, all three things, or I would say it's widely used in the market. And most of the clients, they are moving towards Azure because Microsoft started investing a lot in the Azure area. So it is there in the market for more than a decade. And why I'm saying that choosing an Azure is a good option is I myself part of so many client presentations, and I can observe the customer expectation. What they feel is they are trying to invest a lot toward the Azure based thing, because Azure is giving lot of bundles like Office 365 and all other supported tools, like the Microsoft SQL support. So many options are coming as a bundle. So customer feels that moving towards Microsoft Azure for a cloud requirement, it will be an added advantage for them. So you can check any of the latest graphs available in the market. They are saying that for this 2024 or the 2025, the upcoming years, the usage of Azure will be tremendous. That is why I myself recommend that, like, so many cloud providers are available, but when you invest your time, because I feel that most of you, even in my previous batches and all, most of the students are from the working background. They already part of an organization and they want to upskill themselves into a new area which is famous in the market. So it will be challenging for them, like concentrate on the work and upskilling. But you are ready to do it means you have to invest your time in a correct and good place. If I invest here, what will be my career growth? So that is the expectation of all the working professionals. It is not like for naming sake or time sake we can do something. There should be some proper response related to that. So I recommend choosing cloud, especially Azure with DevOps, would be a good option. Why? In the sense, Azure, if you talk about, there are something like it is related to one specific set of role. But if you learn Azure with the DevOps, it will be like any role in the market, you can use a DevOps concept. That is like automation and your pipeline activities and your cloud all together. It is a famous jargon in the digital world now. So everyone wants to move to cloud. Again, they want the automation. So this would be a right choice. So in this sessions, 40 hours of sessions, we will be covering the Azure along with the DevOps concept. Again, I'm reiterating one thing here because I have experience on all these prior public clouds, right? Initial few sessions, I'll be covering the concept of cloud that will be common for all three public cloud providers. Though you are enrolling for an Azure, the concept of clouds will be common. So I have taken the topics in such a way that you can invest your time. It is not only for Azure. In single investment, you can learn the cloud concept. I'm putting you on mute. If you want questions, you can unmute and you can ask your question. Okay, 1 minute. Fine. So this is how I've created the course content because when you are into the market, you should know the concept of cloud. Then you should know the Azure. Then on top of it, you should know DevOps. So that is the expectation on the market. Like we cannot go and say that like I know only this area, I know this area because it is like you can prepare yourself for an interview also. If you're already placed in an organization, you can upskill yourself. And if you're planning for any certifications like AZ 900 or AZ 104 or this AZ 400, the DevOps certifications and all, you can very well use this course because I will be covering the content related to the certification also. So either you can apply for a certification or for your real-time development. Already, some of the students in my previous batch, they told that my company they started using DevOps, they started using Azure, but they are not giving me much time to play around it. They have started giving me projects, so that also will be discussing. And one important thing here is we won't be discussing only the theoretical concept here. I would say that initial few days, maybe 1 week or like 4 5 classes only, we will be discussing something related to theoretical. After that, because I want every one of my students should understand the basic concept before I show the Azure portal. Later on, every day, we will be doing all the activities in the portal only. So this is my working, like my regular teaching style. So we will be seeing the real-time portal Azure. If I teach something related to a compute service or a storage service, we will be seeing that in the portal. We will see what is virtual machine. We will see what are the options available. What is image? Everything we will be seeing from the portal only. It is not like theoretical sessions where you will be seeing only the presentations or PPT kind of thing. Everything it will be a live activity. We will be seeing where the screen would be there. Why? In the sense, as I committed, if you are working for any organization, you should be able to do some activity by yourself independently. You should be able to do that is the expectation of most of the students here. Theoretical concept means it is available anywhere in the market, like we can go and search it online, but that is not our end goal. Our end goal is you should be able to do your Azure activity independently. So most of our activities would be on the portal only. Secondly, there are some advanced topic which will be at a higher end for the beginners. So those topics alone will be touched upon on a theoretical basis. Third thing, the DevOps. So DevOps, when we go first, when you have to learn into DevOps again, the concept wise, if you're talking about boards, if you're talking about a pipeline and all, concept wise, it is common. If you learn about the DevOps concept here, you can apply later on. Your organization might be using Azure DevOps in a current project. If you move to some other project where they are using a GitHub pipeline, yes, you can apply the same process there also, because I'm going to explain what is the base of a DevOps, then how you can use it in Azure. So if you know the base properly, then you can easily switch to any other DevOps concept in the market, any other DevOps concept in your project. If they say that GitHub pipeline, yes, you can very well apply there also. So the course content is designed in such a way that to make you strong in the basics, and in future, if you want to do something like any other upskill on top of it, you can very well do it. With no delay, I'll be sharing you the course content which you have planned for this 40 hours, and have given the headings like if I say that each and every buttons and all, it will be a lengthy content. So what I've done is like the topic wise alone I've given, but inside the topic we will be discussing that in detail. So if I say that it is a compute service means or virtual machine means, we will be seeing the complete details about a virtual machine. What is a virtual machine? What are the different options available? And how I can create for a Windows, how I can create for a Linux, what are the options available. So those things and all we'll be discussing. And Azure is providing an option of 30 days trial option. That is, you don't need to pay. It's a 30 days trial. They will be providing some credits. So you can use this 30-day trial option to practice along with me. So whatever activity I'm doing, so end of the day, you can practice. And one important thing is all our sessions are recorded. Even the today demo session I'm recording. So at this, like once all these registrations are over, a separate group will be created with the finalist students. And in that group, every day the recorded session will be shared. Like we have a regular session between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST hours. So the next day morning in our group, the recorded session will be shared so that you can practice, and you can make sure that in the next session you can come well prepared. If you are not able to do also, no issues. If you have any doubts, we have the WhatsApp group creator. In that WhatsApp group, you can ask your queries, and I'll be answering your queries in the WhatsApp group. And you will get the lifetime activities for like you can access those videos. A playlist will be created in the YouTube, and that playlist will be shared with your email address. So you will have a lifetime access to that playlist, like all these 40 hours of course content what I'm explaining, that you can access in the YouTube. And one important thing is I'll be using one presentation, right? That presentation will be shared at the end of the course duration. After 40 hours, a PDF will be shared with you for your future reference kind of thing. Like if you're preparing for a certification and all, that you can use it for your reference. And there are some options available for certifications again. Some free voucher kind of thing, or a 50% discount vouchers are all available, are provided by the Azure itself, Microsoft Azure itself. I'll be sharing the links like how you can access and all as part of this course content. And I'll be sharing the tips and tricks related to your certifications, like how you can prepare yourself, and some model questions and all we'll be discussing. And one important thing is this may not be a theoretical or only a topic related things. I'll be sharing my real time experience also, because if I say like when you create a virtual machine, what are all the issues you can expect, I'll be sharing you, because this is all the path I went through, right, as part of my journey in cloud. Because I myself was part of so many migration activity. I myself was like providing consulting and solution for migration. Like even before migrating an application, there are some assessment and all we need to do. So I'll be sharing my real time experience, where you can expect a problem when you do any resource creation, where you will start, what solution you can do. So in that level only we will discuss. It is not like what is cloud computing, what are the types of cloud computing. No, we are not going to do it. And one important thing is all my examples would be a real time examples. It is not something a machine language kind of thing, because I very well know most of my students, they used to come from a non infrastructure background. They may not be know even the basic server related concepts. So we have to fulfill all level of student. So I'll be starting from basics, and I'll be covering the examples related to the real time examples only. It is not something too technical for a student to understand. So plain understanding languages only will be used, and if any query is there, we will be discussing in the regular sessions. And if something you need it, we have our chat creator, and in the chat we will be um, discussing all our details. Okay, so now quickly I'm going to share the course content. So this is the course content we will be using for our 40 hours of journey. I would say this is journey because we will be continuously learning things, and especially the cloud concept and all. Every quarter, I would say Azure, every 8 weeks they are introducing something new. If you take the Azure learning portals itself, every 8 weeks they commit that I'll be introducing something new. So this is the level of commitments they have. So we will be continuously learning, and we will understand what is available in the market, what is the expectation in the market also will be understanding. And here I'm sharing like what you will learn at the end of this course is the cloud skills for real career growth. That is the expectation. Either you are entering into IT field, or you're already in the IT field and you're looking for some change from one area to the other area, like from a testing to a DevOps engineer kind of thing, or from a testing to a Azure infrastructure operation persons. So if you're looking for a career growth, yes, we can use this course for that knowledge purpose. And next thing is your certification. Nowadays this is the expectation of most of the organization. They're asking whether you are certified. So though you have hands-on experience, though you know how to do, in your resume if you add the logo of Azure, the certification, then it will be an added advantage to filter your resume. So when they screen your resume, when they see the badge of the certification, it will be an added advantage. So when you use this course, you can very well prepare yourself for the certification. And Microsoft Azure DevOps. So we'll be covering in terms of, so far I was telling, right, tester, developer and all. If you're from a project management, then I'll be guiding you the deep dive informations about your project managements using the boards in DevOps. What are the different process? There are 4 different processes usually followed in the market. It can be Agile, Scrum, CMMI, or the basic process. For all the 4 process, how you can use the boards demo I'll be showing. I'll be creating the board, I'll be showing the all related aspects, and real time experience, like we will be building the pipeline, the build pipeline. So I'll be taking one ASP.NET web application, ASP.NET core applications, using a YAML file, how you can create a pipeline, or using a classic editor, how you can create a pipeline. So those and all we'll discuss. The basic expectation of DevOps is when I commit my code in my laptop, the code should be available in the server. It should be built, it should be deployed. If there is any failure in the build, a email should be triggered, or a issue should be created, the unit test needs to be done. So this is the complete flow expectation, right? So we will be seeing the real-time demo. Like I'll be creating one application, sample code will be created. I'll be committing that using the Git repository, and you will see the code running in a website. So you can open the website URL and we will be seeing that information. So this is the level of demo we are going to see. And understanding of a cloud. So basically, they will try to find whether you are attending an interview or you are doing a project by just learning something online. We can easily find, because I myself was part of so many interview panels. So based upon the answers from the attender, like we can easily see whether they are going with the uh, theoretical knowledge, or they are attending with the hands-on experience. So my training will be in such a way that you will understand how actually a Azure infrastructure person will work, how actually a Azure DevOps engineer will work. So this is the level we are going to drive throughout this course. And here you will understand about the CI/CD workflows, and your certifications files like 900, 104, and AZ 400 for DevOps certifications and all, we can very well do. So I have designed this course content in such a way that we will start from the scratch. So because we have to balance all type of students, there are some students who may enter into this IT world, or they may be from a entirely new thing, like they are not at all related to this area, this cloud area. They don't know first of all what is cloud. So to consider all those things, what we have done is I have designed this content in such a way that we will first discuss about the very basic thing, what is cloud and what are the different cloud models available, because you should know, right, what is available. Only Azure and Azure we cannot go. What are the different options available? In that option, how Azure is different, why we are taking Azure and all, we will be discussing. And when you go into a cloud concept, there are different technical terms will be used. They will be saying like infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service, shared responsibility. So these words should not be a jargon to you, because when you are getting into the actual hands-on activity, you should know what are these terminologies. So I'll be explaining these terminologies in a simple real-time example so that you can understand that and you can use it in your real-time activity. So we'll be understanding the concept of cloud. So this and all is common. So introduction to cloud, this particular one, it is common. Like if you learn here, if you get a chance to work in AWS or GCP in the near future, you can very well use this knowledge there also, because I'm going to explain that in a common format. So we can use there also. Next is introduction to Azure. So I said like different options available, why we are picking Azure, what is Azure, so how, what are the different ways I can access Azure. So you can access it via portal, like you will have a UI screen and you will be navigating that. So that we will be discussing. Or some students, they feel comfortable with the command lines. They might be from an infrastructure background, on-premise infrastructure background. They might be working for so many years and they want to move it to Azure. Means yes, we do give option for that kind of students also. Like we will be explaining the Azure CLI options, how you can run the commands to create a virtual machines, how you can run the shell scripts. So those things and all we'll be discussing. And what is resource groups, and main things like compliance and all. Like if you are working as a ops for a organization, operation engineer for an organization, compliance would be a important thing expected by an organization. So we'll be discussing that. And important pillars in cloud, what is compute, first we will discuss, because some people will start and they will directly get into a virtual machine. No, first of all we should know what is compute, then only what are the different options available in compute. And if you take a virtual machine, what are the different virtual machine family available. So those things and all we'll be discussing. And I'll be explaining first what is virtualization, because if I say virtual machine as these many types, these are the family of virtual machine family, so that will be a challenging task for a person who is new to this cloud. So first I will explain what is virtualization, from where we got the name of virtual machine. Then in virtual machine, what are the types or the family available. So step by step we will be going. Then it will register in your mind. So if you get a chance to work in other areas also, you can easily apply this virtualization concept, virtual machines and all. And when you take a virtual machine, it's not like directly you're creating a server. You will be having different options, like different properties you have to apply, different configurations will apply. Let's take an example of your laptop. If I want to purchase a laptop, there are different options available in the market. I can go for a branded one, different brands is available. Again, if you talk about the hardware configurations, what is the processor I'm going to use? What is the memory I'm going to use? How efficiently I'm going to use? Because If I'm looking for just some video games purpose, I have to go for a different configuration. If I'm looking for a laptop for a video, just to see some YouTube kind of things, it is different. If I'm looking for a laptop to develop the video games, then the configuration is different, right? So based upon that, when you go for a virtual machine, a server creation, then we will have different options available in Azure. So we'll be discussing that there, like if, what is your requirement for this requirement, what are the options available. When you go for this option, how much you have to pay. So I'll be explaining the calculations also. So there is an option available in Azure for the Azure calculations. So that we will be discussing. Uh, okay. So that we will be discussing, and because why I'm telling all those things is it is not like only these are the options available in the market. Like laptop means 10 options available. That alone we cannot discuss, right? End of the day, you are going to buy it. When you buy, you should know the cost associated with the laptop. That will be a next important thing to lead you to buy a laptop. So it's not only the hardware configuration or the brand name you will see the cost also. So you will see the power consumption and all other things. So similarly here, I'll be discussing with you what are the services available in Azure. So for each service, how much you have to pay. Because for simple compute service itself, I have different options. I can go for a normal virtual machine, or I can go for a virtual machine scale set, or I can go for a container concept. Different options available. When I can go for each of these option, when I go for this option, how much I have to pay. So it is not like every time I have to tell. There is an option available in Azure itself for calculation. So how you can use the options. So I'll be training you to use a calculator also. So this is the way we are going to drive this compute format, and auto scaling. I'll be showing a demo to you, a real demo, because that is a very important aspect. They will ask you in the interview also the concept of auto scale. So they will use some terms called, sometimes they will say horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, sometimes they will say scale in and scale out and all. These are all two technical terms to understand. So first I will explain that in a normal language, so that you will know what is the scale in, scale out, what is this horizontal and vertical scale and all, so that you will understand the concept. Then I will show a demo also for this auto scaling, say how we will do. Let's take a simple example. You are using an online shopping app. It can be your Amazon or Flipkart. Sometimes only 1,000 users will be logging into the website. Sometimes during this the big billion day and all, lakhs and lakhs of users will be logging in. So the Amazon or the Flipkart website should be designed in such a way that it should accept the load of 1,000 users. At the same time, it should be capable of handling the 1 billion customer also. So how they can do? There only the concept of auto scaling come into picture. So every day I cannot use 1,000 machines to keeping one thing in mind, that I have to accept 1 million user, 1 million user, because every day it is not going to happen. Only during the festive season, those many people will be logging in. Only that period of time, I need a large configuration machine. Regular days, a normal configuration of machine is fine for me. So we have to balance both the end. Throughout the year, all 365 days, if I have a higher configuration machine, then it will bite my pocket. I have to pay more for it. So we cannot go for that option. So every day I cannot have a low configuration machine also, because I have to somewhere satisfy a large number of users. So there only the auto scaling concept come into picture, how to configure, how to trigger it, how to use it. So those and all we will be seeing as a real time demo in the auto scaling concepts. And main important thing is, that is the expectation from any engineer or an architect, is troubleshooting. You should know if there is a problem, how to sort it out. It is not like I know how to create a virtual machine, I know how to create a storage, but if any issue comes in, I cannot help. That we cannot say, right? We should know how to troubleshoot also. How will know the troubleshooting? If you do some hands-on and practice. But as you are new to it, I'm going to share you what are the areas you can expect issue. If this issue comes, what is the troubleshooting you can do? So that is the discussion we'll be doing in this area. And what are the frequent operations you do in a virtual machine? So when a virtual machine is created means what are all the options available, what are all the networking things you have to modify, how you can secure your network things like the security wise and all we'll be discussing here. And one important thing I would say that from a networking aspect is your storage. Basically why we are going nowadays, everybody is aware all of the phone, you have phone, right? So we people started using the cloud storage, knowingly or unknowingly we started using the cloud storage. Why we are using it? Because our own phone doesn't have that much of capability or capacity to hold all our photos. We started using this for taking photos and holding a lot of videos and all, either from our WhatsApp group or any other social medias and all we started having. So we unknowingly started using the cloud storage. So we used to pay. It can be your Google Drive kind of thing, or it can be your iPhone cloud. We used to pay something additionally for the extra storage, right? So those concept, it's similar to your storage in the cloud. So when you are creating one machine, say I have my laptop. So in laptop, I have to save my files. I have to save all the documents. So I need some place to save it. So in a cloud, when you are creating a server, there also the same logic applicable. To run your application on the server, you need some place to save your information. It can be the document, it can be your package, your code package, it can be your test case. So any would be there. So based upon the nature of the data which I'm going to save, Azure is providing different options: file share, blob storage, queues, tables, so many options available. So we are going to discuss that in detail. What are the options available? Which option applicable for what type of storage? If I want to store a table, then there is a specific option is available. If I want to store one video file, then some option is available. If I want to store the log file of my application, then there are some options available. So we are going to see what are the options available and how we can use it and how you can transfer those files. So those and all we'll be seeing here. And one important thing is networking. So I have my compute, that is, I have my infrastructure, I have my storage also. But if I have a laptop alone, what I will do? My laptop should be connected to a network. It can be the Wi-Fi router or even my hotspot. Somewhere it should be connected, right? Again, to connect it, I need some authentication needs to be there, some restriction needs to be there. So there only the network come into picture. So we will be discussing about the virtual network. First of all, what is network? Then what is virtual network? We'll be seeing. Again, we will be seeing the options of load balancer to distribute the network activity, and what is peering concept and all, because when you want to move your application which is currently in your local data center, some server is there in your office premises. For example, let's take like you have some code in your CPU, your local desktop, and that you want to transfer into a cloud environment, that you can do. But sometime your company will say that no, no, don't do like that. You have to keep some of the data in your laptop itself. Remaining data only you have to keep it in the cloud. There should be some connectivity established between the office on premises to your cloud environment. How you can do? So the peering concept, VPN gateways and all, we'll be discussing about it. And again, They will be asking you, I know you are going to connect to a cloud environment from the office on premises server, but it should be secure. It should be performance wise good. I don't want to see any delay in the data transaction. So there are different options available for that too. We are going to discuss that. And next important thing, I would say, this would be the backbone of any of your project: data, because the IT field is full of data only. So what we have to do is, we will be seeing the informations like, if I'm talking to you, that itself a data. The people are joining this demo, right? This itself a data, because how many of you have joined in this? How many are students? How many are IT professionals? How many are already in the Azure environment? How many are already part of a DevOps area? Everything is a data, right? So you should know how to gather the data, how to store the data, how to process the data. For that, you should have a clear understanding about your data. So we will be discussing about what are the different types of data available in the market and how you can segregate it. So what is this processing, or what is this OLTP, though those things and all we'll be discussing. This will be mainly concentrated on the topic of interview. Like usually in interview these questions will be asked. So by considering that, we have added this in the course content. And next thing is database. So I have my application running, but I want to save the application related details. For example, same online shopping app. You are logging to the online shopping app, so you already have an account means. So for UV, there will be one data entry available in the database. That's why when I enter my user ID and password, it is allowing me to enter into the website. Some authentication is happening. Some customer information somewhere it is stored. Where it will be stored? It will be in the database. And I'm looking for some product in the shopping. It can be electronic gadget, or it can be some dress kind of thing. Where all these data are all stored? Everything is a database concept only. And based upon the type of the data, say I told the concept of uh, products, electronic gadgets. These are all some product informations. So you can save it in a plain table kind of thing. But in the same website, there is something called customer review. So nowadays people started putting photos, videos and all, right? So the videos and photos and all, how I can store in a table? Is there any other alternative option is available for a data storage in a database? Those and all we will be discussing in the database section. Next thing is governance. So here, if you are planning to switch to a Azure infrastructure person, then you should know these topics for sure, because you should know how to act upon the company policies. You should know how to calculate the cost of each and every resource, and how to use the blueprint concept and all, because automation is a slogan you have to keep it in your mind for this upcoming years. Like everywhere they want automations, and especially if you're going for a cloud itself, you should be know how to automate your activity. It's not like every time manually you will be doing. So that I'll be discussing here. Monitoring features, what is monitoring, where you can use monitoring and all will be discussing. And CLI part, that is command line things. Apart from a portal, how you can execute, like if you have some scripts already in your existing application or a project, when you move to a cloud environment, how you can use the scriptings. So that will be discussing here. And if you have your project or an application in a on premises, and if you want to migrate to an Azure environment, what is the automated or a tool or agent available? So we'll be discussing here how to install the migration agent, what is discovery, what is assessment, what is file migrations. All these things we'll be discussing here. And I'll be showing a demo related to a DB migration also. So one database would be there in your local in my laptop. I'll be migrating that to a cloud environment. So that also will be seeing there. And your security. This is the very, very important thing in a cloud, because your organization always have a doubt on this data breach, whether I will lose my information or somebody will log into my machine, somebody will hack my data. So for that, we should know the concept of security. What is network security group? What is the inbound rules? What is the outbound rules? Where I can configure the ports to be accessed? So those and all we'll be discussing here. And the next thing is, like this, I would say it is not for the basics, it's for the advanced topics like app services. So how, where and all you can use this logic apps or function app. What is this logic app and function apps? What are the plans available and all? We'll be discussing on this Azure related topics. Once these are all settled, we will be entering into the DevOps world. First, we will know what is DevOps, why I need DevOps. Without DevOps, how we were doing this activity so far. After DevOps, how easy our work. So those and all we'll be discussing here. What is the software lifecycle? What is the regular process we'll be following? What are the different stakeholders will be part of this DevOps? So those and all we'll be discussing in this section. And next thing is Azure DevOps. So far this section will be discussing about regular DevOps. What is continuous integration? What is CI? What is CD? So those and all we'll be discussing in the previous one. And here, what is Azure DevOps? So the previous is normal DevOps. The DevOps can be with a Jenkins, the DevOps can be with the AWS, the DevOps can be with the GitHub kind of things. But in the Azure DevOps, what are the pillars available? What are the services available in Azure DevOps? What is Azure DevOps server? What is services? Because some organization they feel that I want the DevOps activities in my local itself. I don't want to use a public environment. So there are some options available in Azure DevOps itself that we will be discussing there, and how to create your account, your free account with this Azure, and how what are the things you can access with the free account, the basic one, and if you want to go for an advanced one, what are the pricing models and all we'll be discussing there. And to start with, what is the hierarchy of a DevOps? Like you need to have an organization, you should create a project, you should have team members, the team members should have a role. So those and all we'll be discussing there. And we will discuss about this boards. If you are doing a project management, you should know about these boards. So what is Azure boards, Kanban boards, what is the technical terms we'll be discussing, like agile, scrum, and what is work item. So how can I create my board, how can I use a board efficiently to move from one stage to other stage. Say my customer is giving a requirement, the code is developed, it is available in the development environment, and it is tested by a tester, then it is validated, means everything is a stage. In each and every stage, I should know how to handle it. So program management wise, what are the stages available, what are the options available, we'll be discussing, and how I can create my custom workflows and custom work items and all. Because some project may follow an agile format, some project may follow a scrum, some project will come up with a mixture of something. Okay, so how you can create your custom workflow. So that I'll be demonstrating you. And we will discuss about what is the test plans, what is test suite, and what is test case and all. And very important thing is a repository. The previous section, the boards and all will be mainly used by a management person, but this repos will be mainly used by a development related students, like anything related to your code management. What is code management, what is source control, what are the options available in the market. And finally we will be doing a deep dive on Git, like Git, how you can download the tool, using Tortoise how can you do, using Visual Studio Code how you can do commits, push, pull, branching mechanisms, why I need a branch. So those and all we'll be discussing here. Then finally, I have my design, that is in my board, I have my requirement. Based upon the board, I've generated the code and the code is available in the repo. What is next? Next is my building that, that is package I have to create. I have to compile my code. So there we will be doing the pipelines. So two pipelines are there, that is compilation pipeline and deployment pipeline. That is your build pipeline and release pipeline. For both CI and CD, I'm going to show you a demonstration. So when you commit your code in your laptop, it will be compiled, it will be deployed in a development server, and you can browse the URL for the web application, and you can see what is the change you have added in your Visual Studio Code. Even if you add a small dot there, if you add some change in the text, that will be reflected in your website. So that level of demonstration we are going to see. And different stages we need, right? If it is a pipeline, means I need a server deployment in a development, then the same code after validation should be deployed in a SIT, then the same code needs to be deployed in a UAT. So multiple stages that needs to be deployed. So that I'm going to show you what are the different stages are there. And to move it to a different stage, we need the permission. Somebody has to approve that the code in development is good, so you can move it to a SIT environment. The code in the SIT is good, you can move it to the next environment. So the approval process and all we are going to discuss there, and how you can trigger the automatic emails for your activities. Any build happen, any deployment happen, means you will get an email. So I'll be showing a live demo for that. And one important thing is, if my build is failed, then automatic creation of issue in your Azure boards I'll be showing. So how you can configure it in such a way that you will get a automatic issue created and assignment also. So that we will be seeing in this pipeline concept. And we will see all these things as well. Like most of the topics will be a live demo only, like I'll be showing, it's not a recorded demo. I'll be opening the portal in front of you, I'll be showing that you have to click this, you have to go like this. So every labels will be discussing. And we will go through our activities like that only. And next is your certifications related queries and all, I'll be clarifying you. And any question and answers, those and all we'll be doing. That is every sessions we will have like 1 hour of session, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. We will be having our sessions. And it's all recorded, and we can see. So I'm quickly sharing like how I'll be driving my sessions. So every day you will be seeing the screen for sure, your Azure portal screen. In this screen only we are going to play around. In this screen only I'll be showing how to create a virtual machines. So what are the options available for you, how you can log into this machine. So if I want to create a virtual machine, how I can do. If I want to create a storage account, what I have to do. What are the different ways I can go to this particular screen. And what is the cost related to this. So these are the screens we are going to discuss in the upcoming sessions. And let's quickly see one example. So if I say virtual machine, means it won't be a theoretical concept. I'll be showing you how we will create a virtual machine. So each and every tags we will be discussing here. What is resource scope we will discuss, what is subscription we will discuss, and how you can handle all those things, that we will discuss. And all these tabs, what are the different disk options available, and what are the networking options available, what are all these tabs and radio buttons, all these drop downs. At the end of the sessions I'll be covering all these activities. It is not like I'll be going as per the course content order wise, no. It will be slowly I'll be adding, because some concept will be little bit advanced concept that I'll be covering in the second week or third week, means the first week I'll be covering the basic concepts. So slowly you will be understanding all these tabs. At the end of the sessions, at the end of all those things, you will be knowing all the tabs, all the drop downs, all the radio buttons. So this is how I'll be moving towards this. But every day we'll be seeing the screens. we will be playing around the screens only. Creating a virtual machine means different types of machines will be creating, and we will log into the machine, how to connect to the machine remotely, how to install software into the machine, how to access a software which you are installing into the machine. So likewise I'll be telling. And disk means, right? Let's take an example of a laptop itself. Laptop, you have your inbuilt disk. If you want a separate one, what we used to do, so those days we used to use CD, and you have your pen drive concepts, and you have your external hard disk now. So different options available, right, for your laptop. Similarly, for the servers also, you have different options. So what options are is suitable for your activity? So we will be discussing on this particular screens. So whether you're new or expertise, how you can proceed. So these are the things we will be discussing throughout this sessions. Okay, so I don't want to dump much in the demo session itself, but I want to give a background about the course content. That's why I elaborated. I was little bit fast today because I have to cover the full thing, but usual classes will be like as per your understanding, slow, steady, and once you're comfortable with the basic, then we will pick up fast and we will be moving towards like completing all the topics and demos, hands-ons kind of things. Okay, with this I'm ending this session for this demo. If you have any query, please feel free to ask me. And one final thing is, if you are planning to register for this particular course, our registration is open. So you can contact Kumar sir, and his contact number I'm displaying in the screen. So you can use this number for any registration. And if you have any queries, I hope all of you are added in a group chat, and you can use that group chat for any further queries related to the registration or further payment or related thing, or even related to this course content. Anything you can ask in the WhatsApp group. We'll be happy to answer your question there. Okay, with this I'm stopping this. So open for the question and answer things. Like you can ask me if you have any question. You can very well ask. Like I can